Fear is the path to the dark side.
People are telling you not to believe. They're telling you not to. So I got to give you the arguments. They're telling you, first of all, Obama may have good ideas, but he has not been in Washington long enough. Hasn't been in Washington long enough. We need to season and stew him a little bit longer and boil all the hope out of him. And then maybe 20, 30 years from now, when he talks just like us, maybe he'll be ready. I notice the American people have been rejecting this argument because they understand the last thing we need is to have the same old folks doing the same old things, playing the same old games over and over again, and somehow expecting a different result. We don't need that. We need something new.
Well, let's talk about healthcare right now.
What's meant by a mandate is that the government is forcing people to buy health insurance.
Obama is not forcing Iowans and their employers to participate in this plan.
We expect that we will achieve virtually universal health care without that mandate.
If a mandate was the solution, we could try that to solve homelessness by mandating everybody buy a house. The reason they don't have a house is they don't have the money. And so our focus has been on reducing costs, making it available. I am confident that if people have a chance to buy high-quality health care that is affordable, they will do so, and that's what our plan does, and nobody disputes that.
Senator Edwards, does Senator Obama provide universal coverage?
No, because the only way to provide universal coverage is to mandate that everyone be covered. It just doesn't cover everybody. The only way to cover everybody is to mandate it.
Senator Obama, 45 million uninsured Americans. Senator Edwards had said your health plan doesn't really provide universal coverage, does it?
Absolutely it does. John and I have a disagreement. John thinks that the only way we get universal coverage is to mandate coverage. Let's understand this. Everybody here is going to have a plan. John's got a plan. I've got a plan. Hopefully everybody here will provide a plan for universal coverage.
The only difference between Senator Clinton's health care plan and mine is that she thinks the problem for people without health care is that nobody has forced them to get health care.
The truth is, Senator Clinton does have a universal health care plan. And so do I. The difference is she has what she calls a mandate, and I don't. And I just want to spend a little time explaining this. It's not a mandate the government give you insurance. It's government mandating that you buy insurance. So she believes that the only way to get universal health care is to force you to buy insurance. You have to pay a fine, or she would go, in her words, after your wages. I expanded health care in Illinois by bringing Democrats and Republicans together.
The person who's going to get it done is the person who can reach across everyone in society and say, you know what, I hear what you're saying. I want to work with you. I want healthcare to work for you.
It is such a big initiative that it really takes somebody that can bring Democrats and Republicans and independents together and make a consensus.
Barack Obama is the only candidate in either field that has demonstrated an ability to work with people from both parties.
I actually served under him in Health and Human Services, and Barack had this leadership within him of just bringing it all together.
And I will not let the drug and insurance companies spend another $1 billion to block reform, because people like my mother shouldn't have to worry about bankruptcy every time they get sick. America is better than that, and we are going to make it happen in Washington by taking on the insurance industry. And that is how I will make certain that every single American in this country has health care that they can count on.
But we've had plans before under a Democratic president in the 90s and a Democratic Congress. We couldn't get it done because the drug and insurance companies are spending $1 billion over the last decade on lobbying. And that's why we've got to have a president who is willing to fight to make sure that they don't have veto power. They can have a seat at the table, but they can't buy every single chair when it comes to crafting the sort of universal health care that's going to help.
I respect the fact that Senator Clinton and President Clinton attempted in '93 to get health care reform passed. You know, I respect what the Clintons tried to do in 1993 in moving health reform forward.
I respect the Clintons back in '93 for actually having tried to get this done.
But I do think that they did it in the wrong way. But they made one really big mistake.
But, see, I think they did it the wrong way because they went behind closed doors.
Because it was behind closed doors, and we did not enlist the American people in the process. And that is, they took all their people and all their experts into a room, and then they closed the door.
And I've always said that I will have a table like this where all the key players are sitting, and we'll televise it on C-SPAN.
President Obama Monday standing with all of the health industry leaders saying that they were going to be voluntarily shaving some $2 trillion off U.S. health care costs over the next 10 years. Among those gathered were executives from HMO giants Kaiser Foundation Health Plan and Health Net Inc., and the health insurance lobbying group America's Health Insurance Plans, from American Hospital Association, American Medical Association, from medical device companies, and from the pharmaceutical industry, including the president and CEO of Merck and former Congressman Billy Townsend, now president and CEO of Pharma, the massive industry lobbying group.
This bill does not provide universal, comprehensive, or affordable care to the American people. It shovels hundreds of billions of dollars of taxpayer money into the worst corporations who've created this problem, the Aetnas, the Cignas, the health insurance company. For the drug companies, it's a bonanza. It doesn't require Uncle Sam to negotiate volume discounts. It allows these new biologic drugs under patent to fight off generic competition. That's a terrible provision. And it doesn't allow reimportation from countries like Canada to keep prices down. There's no free choice of doctor and hospital under this. There's all kinds of exploitations that the health insurance companies and drug companies are going to be free to continue their ravenous ways over people who are at their most vulnerable situation when they're sick and injured.
What about the fact that 30 more million people will be covered under this, no matter how much you feel it is lacking under this health care reform bill?
First of all, that won't even begin until 2014, 180,000 dead Americans later. Second, there's no guarantee of that. The insurance companies can game this system. The 2,500 pages is full of opportunities and ambiguities for the insurance companies to game the system and to make it even worse. And let's say there are more people covered, right? Well, they're being forced to buy junk insurance policies. There's no regulation of insurance prices. There's no regulation of the antitrust laws on this. Everything went down.
Am I right that what you object to in this legislation is the mandate ordering people to have to buy health insurance? That's what you find unconstitutional.
I definitely find that unconstitutional. I don't think that Congress can cause a person to make a purchase. But in a case like this, no, there's a free choice issue, and the people do not want to make a purchase. And as a result, if they don't make the purchase, there is a fine, there is a penalty that's going to be imposed for not exercising the opportunity to purchase.
What's meant by a mandate is the government is forcing people to buy health insurance.
The difference is she has what she calls a mandate, and I don't. And I just want to spend a little time explaining this. It's not a mandate the government give you insurance. It's government mandating that you buy insurance. So she believes that the only way to get universal health care is to force you to buy insurance. You have to pay a fine, or she would go, in her words, after your wages. Year after year, election after election, candidates make promises about fixing health care.
Standing there, you look like an idiot.
You know, we're supposed to have a new wave with the Obama administration. Instead, we have the same old, same old.
Turn them off!
This is the theater of the absurd, my friends. This is the theater of the absurd.